Hey guys, hi, it's Nettie coming to you from South Carolina, and I am one half of the badass couple. I am so tired today, and because my day's been full of surprises. Well, really, my surprises started, I don't know, back a few months ago. Um, I realized I was going to have to be going to Canada right now. And this I realized back in the first part of December. So I dug up my passport, and lo and behold, it was due to expire in about 3 weeks. So I quickly ran around and tried to get a photograph of myself taken down here in the United States. And it's very difficult because the United States pictures are different sizing than the Canadian pictures are on your passport. So it's really hard to get one that the Canadian government will approve. But I did. I got one, and I sent it off, and I thought everything was pretty hunky-dory. Well, just after Christmas, I got what I thought was going to be my new updated passport from Canada, and all it was a message saying, "Hey, your picture's flunked." Bad surprise. You got to realize there's good surprises and there's bad surprises. So, anyways, that was a bad one. That's not what I was looking for. I thought I thought, okay, well, you know what? I won't apply anymore. I won't send it in the mail because I am going to go to Canada anyways. I'm a Canadian citizen, and I'll just get the picture taken while I'm done there. Seemed pretty simple to me, right? Surprise. So anyways, I go ahead and I book my ticket, and it costs $477 to fly up to Montreal, and that is return. So I'm pretty happy about this. I'm stoked, and yeah, I'm going to see my grandson, and he's only a few weeks old. So it was very exciting. So I get this email from Delta 2 days ago, maybe 3 days ago, and it said you can check in now. You know what? What's the rush? I got 3 days to check in. There's no problem. So I don't try and do it until about 10 o'clock last night, and I'm flying out at 10 this morning. So 10 o'clock last night, go online, going to check it out, and it asked me for my passport number. Boom, I gave it to them, and then it asked for the year that it expires. Click, click, click. There was no 2013. It had jumped to 2014 and up. And I'm like, this is not good. Surprise, bad surprise. So I thought, maybe I better look into this because I had looked online and the Canadian government passport website, and they said that you can come, if your passport has expired, that's no problem. You can come into Canada and you can renew it. Not a problem. So I wasn't worried about that side of it. So anyways, yes, I did. I called Passport Canada. By now it's about 10:30 last night. I said, look, I tried to, put my passport into my flight, and it's expired, and it's not letting me do it. And she says, no, ma'am, you won't be allowed to get on the plane with an expired passport. And I'm like, I know on your website it says that I can enter Canada with an expired passport. And she said, yes, you can, but you have to drive. You can't fly. Well, surprise, bad surprise. Again, they didn't put that on their website. Okay? Like, I'm just like frustrated. Why can't they put those simple words in there? You must drive across the border at an entry port. Well, I'm 1,000 miles from the border. So driving it makes it a little difficult. So I'm scratching my head, and I thought, Delta. I'll call Delta. That's who I'm flying. They'll help me. They'll fly me into the closest spot on the border where I can drive across into Canada and get this done. Not a problem. So I called Delta, and they said, yes, we will have to put you in a queue. We've got long waiting lines tonight, and it will probably be about an hour and a half before we are able to get back to you, and we'll call you. Leave your number. Perfect. So I diddled around, on some things and kept waiting for them to call back. I'm tired. It's 1:30 in the morning and they still haven't called back. I know I'm not flying this morning because I can't. I can't fly. I can't get on the plane. But I didn't know what I was going to do. So I'm like so tired. And I thought, I have got to go to bed. So at 1:30, I went to bed. 3:30, the phone rings. Surprise! It's another one. Oh man. So I took the phone out of the bedroom. I didn't want to wake up Sam or the puppies, and I came into the office, was not clear and straight, talking to a person that, you know, I would venture to guess pretty safely that their first language is not English. And I'm not speaking really good English either at 3:30 in the morning. So I'm trying to tell her my problem, and and she's attempting to help me. And finally, she says, "Oh yeah, we can fly you into Albany, New York. You can drive from there. It'll cost you $277." Oh, yikes! Like, please, can we just switch? I said, you know what? I'll just not even show up for the flight. Somehow I'll drive up there, and then when I come back into the United States, when I'm coming back, I'll take my return flight. She said, "Ma'am, if you don't show up for your flight this morning, they will cancel everything." Great. I have to show up for a flight that I can't take. But anyways, okay, all right, I'll do it. She says, "Do you want to book it?" And my gut kept saying, "Don't do it, don't do it, don't book it." I said, "No." Now it's 4 o'clock, and my brain is going, how am I going to get there? How am I going to get? I mean, I'm packed. I've never been so organized for a trip, clothes wise. Obviously, paperwork wise, I sucked. But anyways, I go back to bed, and it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm finally dozing off again. 7 o'clock, the alarm goes off because I was supposed to be at the airport by 9. So I get up and I'm frustrated, and I go, okay, I'll call Delta back. I mean, it took them 5 hours to call me last night, but maybe they can book that flight. I might as well give in to it. I talked to Sam about it. He said, book the flight, pay the extra money, rent the car. Okay, so I call Delta, and you're in a queue and you're 5 hours in waiting. Surprise! I'm so sick of these damn surprises. Not good ones. So, anyways, I got myself ready, and fortunately, we only live about 20 minutes from the airport. And I said, okay, I'm going to drive down to the airport, and I'm going to talk to the Delta people and see what's going on, see what they can do for me. But it was really bugging me that my not being on top of things was costing me so much, and I was getting so down about it and so pissed at myself. But I thought, my goal was to get there to Canada and see my new grandson and see my daughter, see my son-in-law, who I love and adore, both of them too. So I thought, okay, I got to get down. I got to spit it up. I've got to sacrifice this. So we're driving down to the airport, and I swear, we're 1 mile away from the airport, and we were running a little late. Typically, if I had been taking the flight, I would have been there at least 20 minutes earlier than this. So, we're about 1 mile away from the airport, and I get a phone call, and it's Delta, and it's one of those automated things, and they said, your flight's been delayed, and it won't fly out for an extra hour. So instead of flying out at 10, I would have flew out at 11. And I'm like, looked at Sam, he looked at me, and I went, big deal. It doesn't matter because I can't take the flight anyways. So I go into the airport, and I'm talking to the Delta ladies, who's extremely nice. And I told her my situation, told her that I needed to rebook this flight to Albany, and then I was going to drive across. And she looked at me and she said, well, I've got a surprise for you. And I thought, I can't handle any more surprises. She says, because your flight was delayed, you are entitled to change it in any way you want, free of charge. Well, thank you, Jesus. Surprise! A good one. And I just thought, I had not allowed myself to get to the point where I wanted to go out to the garage and bang my head up against the wall because I was so frustrated. But I was really pretty, like every time I tried to do something, it wasn't going right. And I thought, I am so blessed that this all worked out. And I got a really good deal on the rental car, and I am flying out tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock sharp. And by this time tomorrow night, I'll have that baby in my arms. And so just a side note on this crazy story that I've rambled on about is it did appear to me to compare it to business. And when we're in business for ourselves, we have that vision out there and that goal, and that there is nothing like it. It is so powerful that we want to get this, and we can do it. We know we can do it, but we're going to have setbacks. We're going to have, maybe at some point you're losing your motivation a little bit, just a little bit, or maybe you've got an ad that bombs, or maybe you just a video didn't go over as well as you thought it would, or maybe your fan page isn't getting the attraction that you thought it would to help put your name out there. There's so many things that can come up. There's so much of that, but you got to keep plugging, keep plugging, keep plugging, because you know what? Surprise! At some point, you are going to crack the code. You are going to be successful, and it is going to be the biggest and the best successful surprise of your life. That's all I got to say. Love y'all. Netty out. The next video I make, I'll be coming from the snowy north in Quebec. So take care. Bye now. Thanks for listening to me ramble on. Oh, if you want to join when I'm in, click the link below. You will never, ever look back. It's your time, and you are set to get the freedom that you can go and travel like I can. Change my travel plans, and it doesn't affect my day's work because I take it with me. Anyways, bye-bye. Love you all. Netty gone.